What's going on, y'all? My name is Ish, and I'm kind of just like a human in Web3, investor, collector, soon-to-be founder, working on a project as well. And yeah. Yeah, so I was investing in crypto, and I wasn't like an early investor or anything. Maybe a few years ago, I bought my first like Ethereum and all that. And then I kind of just went down the rabbit hole. Like first it was ETH, then I figured out what it was and the platform and the different things that were being built on it. Then I started like dipping my toes into DeFi and like learned about staking and yielding and how like this technology is going to replace like banking and everything that we would know as to be normal. And then from there, kind of like May of last year, I saw NFTs, and I'm kind of like a collector at heart. So I think every NFT collector says this too. But I grew up like Pokemon cards, like collecting marbles, like flipping stuff. In high school, I would flip like jeans, like designer jeans and shoes and stuff. So I kind of just fell in, and then late last year it just consumed my life, and I figured like, well, if I like it, there's an opportunity to make money and make a living in it. Why not throw everything else not out the window, but why not invest more time and energy into it? So now like all of my learning time, which previously was like Tim Ferriss, self-development books, business books, all of my like learning time that I have carved out every day is like now Web3. So Web3 podcasts, NFT books, Twitter spaces, content consumption, everything in between. And I think I specifically like NFTs because it's a culmination of like art, collectability, finances, opportunity to making money, so like investments, and also like brand building and marketing, which I think, given my background, I have a little bit of an edge to be able to spot like good things, bad things, rug pulls, and everything in between. Find the niche that interests you most and then dive into that space. Web3 is massive. It's huge. There's so many different things. Even crypto is massive. And then if you dive into NFTs itself is like so massive, and it's like a little sliver of the bigger pie. In NFTs you have physical collectibles like tied to a digital asset. You have like membership cards. You have PFP within PFP, like profile picture collectibles. There's like 3D, there's 2D, there's metaverse land that you can buy and it's like attached to NFT. There's so many different things. So finding like what are you most gravitated towards? For me, that's like the community aspect of like projects that have like 5,000 to 10,000 holders or whatever. That's just what I'm gravitated towards. I think just given my background, what I like to do. So that's where I spend all of my time. I sprinkle a little bit of time here and there to learn about different areas so that I'm not totally out the loop. But one of the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing is people from the jump are trying to like learn everything all at once, and it's overwhelming and it becomes like an impossible task. So like if you're a beginner just starting off in NFTs or even crypto or Web3, like what calls you, what interests you? If you like banking, if you like all that, then check out DeFi. Learn about yield farming, that's the actual thing, and then dig a little bit more, read a little bit more, and then like expand as you go versus trying to like do everything at once and then you're overwhelmed and you stop doing it all. I used to give a really shitty answer to this question, and I used to say like, I don't know, it's just kind of time management. But the truth is, it's structures, very strict schedules, rituals and routines. I'm pretty much like a robot. I do everything at the same time every single day, like do's and don'ts for certain gaps of my day. And that's pretty much the only way that I'm able to do it. It's like time management on steroids if you think about it. Certain days for certain work, certain days for certain projects. I work every Sunday morning for a few hours, helps me get things done. But the other most important piece is like, I'm extremely deliberate on the things that I don't do. So like, if you see my content, I've been talking a lot about how like Twitter DMs have just been like overwhelming, so I just shut them off. So unless I'm following you now, I can't receive a DM. Whereas like I feel like a lot of other people respond to everything in the sequence that they receive it, and that it like drains your time very quickly, and that's the only asset that we can't like replace, Well, I did the NFT Playbook, and that was kind of like my first official project, I guess. But I felt like I wanted more, Like it's cool, it's a playbook, it's like an ebook essentially. But there's not that much more collectability to it if you think about it. And being somebody who was a part of all these different communities like Dead Fellows, Fast Food Punks, Cryptoon Goons, like we talked to them today, I wanted to build what they built. I've done this for brands, I've done this for LinkedIn, I did this for Snapchat, I did this for Crave It, helped build and launch an app. I figured, why not do it for myself? I had so much fun when I was building my brand as a DJ for like 11 years. So I figured, why not do all of that I learned and actually put it into an asset that could potentially reward others as well and help people gain value as the project grows. The biggest win, honestly, is we've already established a community of people. I mean, you're a part of it too. We only have 2,600 followers, but the quality is very high. You look through our tweets, our content, people are engaged, people are hyped, people are excited to be a part of it, and we haven't even minted yet. So the success for me is that I've seen so far, my biggest success is we have people that are excited about this and we haven't launched. Whereas other NFT projects spend months and they launch and they lose traction, lose momentum, and they're looking for what we have and we're so early. So there's only up from here. Building in public can be really tough. You get a lot of good because it's free marketing. People get to be part of the journey and feel like they have a stake in what you're creating. But also opens up the opportunity to get a lot of criticism. So sometimes we will get people that call us out and say yo, you guys are fake, guys are just trying to copy what everybody else is doing. Recently we were talking about how diversity and inclusion is one of the cultural tenets that I'm trying to push forward. And I'm not just saying this to try to marketing buzz. You can look at everything that I've done in my entire life, my entire career, and it's aligned with what I'm pushing forward. But there will always be people that just have no purview into what you're doing and just want to call you out because they see you on the timeline and say nah, he's fake, which kind of sucks, but it comes with the territory. We showed a little preview of the 3D asset, the helmet. So you can actually wear it, whether you're in Snap or Instagram or you're on a Zoom call, you can wear your helmet, which I think I haven't seen many projects do that alone. I think what people can be most excited for is there's 3 ways in which I'm driving value with this project. I'm not overdoing it with all this crazy roadmaps and promises. We're not doing a game, we're not doing all this stuff. There's 3 things that we're doing. The first is a 3D metaverse ready social avatar. You use it as your Twitter profile picture. If you're in Decentraland walking around, you'll be eventually able to walk around in your Primobot. That's sick. Think about where the future's going, gaming, and your online identity. You can't wear a 2D image of yourself in the metaverse. It has to be 3D. So I think we're trying to build for that future. The second part is we're building a global brand. I mean, a lot of people say this in the NFT space, we're building a brand, we're building a brand. Nobody actually does this well. In order to build a brand, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of do's and don'ts. And my background is in brand building. I did social media marketing at LinkedIn, diversity brand partnerships at Snapchat. I built a brand from scratch, Crave It. Now I'm just taking everything that I learned and building a project from scratch, figuring out what are the values of the project, how can I engage the community, and what are partnerships, initiatives, events, and so that we can do to help grow the brand even more, to make the 5,555 even more scarce because there's more people that want them. The last part, and it's personally my favorite because my background is in events. I previously had a startup, my other co-founder was here too. We had a startup for I think 3 years. We did live events, concerts, festivals, all that stuff. I also DJed for 10 years, so I have a thing for live events. And I want to make sure that Primobots is not just an online thing. You can wear it in the metaverse, you can use it in your virtual game, whether it's a shooting game or whatever, but there's also going to be an in real life aspect, whether that's concerts, whether that's meetups, whether that's activations at other conferences, holders only events. That's the stuff that I want to do. It's really cool. I met you for the first time today. I met 10 people today for the first time. And building those in-person relationships. A lot of projects are starting to try to figure it out, but event planning ain't easy. It's really tough to do a good event. And I want to make sure that we have top-notch stuff.